here, and hi everyone from the Healing Place Energy School. Here we are tonight for another live Reiki healing meditation. Except tonight we're going to mix it up. We're going to just do straight talk. One thing about honoring the goddess within us, we have to know when we're up for something or switch it up, because that's the reason why we have a wand to make magic.
I need a magic wand.
Yes. So, tonight's talk is about consciously making magic. And what do we need to do to live an authentic life?
So tell me, Helen, I think I know what you do to live an authentic life, but share with everyone who's listening. I mean, you're pretty good at doing your thing.
I am. One of the things I love to do every day. In fact, the healing place was in Medfield. Is the Healing Place Medfield, and then the Healing Place Energy School. The first one, Healing Place, was established in 2005. Does that sound right? 2006. Yeah, 2006. This is my 15th year. And the Healing Place, something in my head says to me, Helen, you need to develop the Healing Place Energy School, and because not everyone could come to you. And I say, yes, God, very true. Even though you made mothers, I still can't be everywhere. So that's how I established the Healing Place Energy School for those people who want to learn about self-care, how to self-heal. I'm just so thrilled that I followed the voices in my head.
I'm thrilled you did too. And you started creating the online classes years ago. I mean, you've had online classes for a very long time.
Yes. And it's so funny, even though I created this magic 7 years ago, but the timing was not right. So here we are, I would say 7 years, 6 websites. And I think this is the one that is finally going to launch.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, in the 7 years of waiting for the egg to hatch or the magic to begin, I probably created 25 courses, reflexology, chakra balancing, and now those 25 courses, there are 125 lessons. I'm like, whoa, if that's what not calling magic. And what inspires me, like I'm going to ask you in a minute, what inspires you? And please, everybody, if whatever has inspired you, please share with us, because we would love to hear your journey too. What inspired me, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I listen to the voices in my head and I just follow. And there's something about that magic. I don't know why I'm doing it, but something is calling me. And I'm following through. And even though Andre he's been practicing, having really bad anxiety or panic attack around going to sleep at night. Is this something that can help? Well, I don't know. It all depends what you get out of it, because no two people will get the same thing out of our talk. So depending on where you are in your energetic foundation, everyone's going to do something different. Tonight is not necessarily a reflexology tip night, which I keep trying to come back and ask the reflexologist. But this is more like a spiritual awakening or spiritual consciousness to get you to think about where you are in this moment and what do you want to do about it.
Right. And who is it that made that comment? It was Andre. He's been having bad anxiety. So usually what you're thinking, it was pay attention to what you're thinking about, Andre.
Yes.
And switch up your whatever it is you're thinking about that may be causing you the anxiety, or maybe you're thinking about wonderful things and you're still having anxiety.
Well,
you check in with your doctor, but also, focus on your breathing.
Yeah. And anxiety could go both ways. It could drive you to where you're feeling anxious about things, but what are you going to do about that anxiousness? Are you going to act upon it, or are you going to sit and stew in the anxiety? I mean, this is a personal choice. I won't tell you, Andre, the first 2 years of the business back in 2006, I opened my business during when recession, and nobody knew what reflexology was. I was pooping buckets. I would say it in another way, but I was pooping with nervousness and anxiety because I did not know if this was going to take off. And I'm going to say, I need my money for my livelihood.
Just like everyone, right?
Yeah, I'm not working for a hobby. So one of the things about anxiety, when you're creating that kind of magic, you got to really ask yourself, is this real? Or are you making it up? Because we tell ourselves stories all the time, good or bad.
That's
And
true.
the thing is, you got to determine. You're the only one who can determine if this is real or not.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I know over the years I've had my anxiety and a lot of my issues that I was dealing with or thinking about or creating for myself. Some of the they weren't true. They weren't true. The issues I was thinking about, they all got resolved. Everything turned out fine, and I wasn't correct with my facts or how I was thinking. So,
well, especially my thought is if you follow traditional norms, whatever your parents taught you how to deal with your anxieties, and I'm going to say most people probably don't know what to do. So they, more times than not, they will always tell you, you need to think about something else. Forget about it. It will go away. But it never does.
no, it helps to think about something else. However, you still need to deal with whatever it is that's causing your anxiety. Go to a therapist, go to a doctor, talk to a good friend, write down your thoughts and feelings on a piece of paper, and then go back to that. Go back to that. I call that my writing pages. I used to do this. I used to get up in the morning and write down everything I was thinking, everything I was feeling. And then sometimes I would rip it up, throw it away. But then sometimes I would save that piece of paper and read it the next day. And believe it or not, the next day I was completely thinking and feeling about something else.
Yes. So this is what I always tell clients when they come and they have these thoughts in their heads. The first thing I say to them, you got to retrain your brain. Ask yourself, how is this thought serving you, or how is it bringing you down? Because you're the one that creates your own reality, and reality could be anything and everything. I'm going to say this is going to be awful. Why do people do these terrible crimes against other people? Do they wake up in the morning and say, this is what I'm going to do to whomever? I'm going to pick a victim. And why? Why do they go there? Is it going to make you better? Is it going to make you feel better? So creating magic has a lot to do with your own personal powers.
Yes. Thinking. Well, Helen, give me an example of like how you were when you woke up this morning and you were going about your morning, pouring your coffee or your tea and doing your morning rituals before you head to the office. How are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I try to stay in a neutral zone. The first thing, because Robin knows about my schedule. I have a pretty busy. I'm the kind of person I work from literally as soon as I get out of bed, because I have to do social media and things for my business. And here I am at the end of the day, I'm doing a live talk. The thing is, I don't grow the anxiety, because once you start going to panic mode, I got to do this. I got to do this at this time. I have a consultation this time. I'm seeing 3 people at this time. I got to get home. I got to walk the dogs. I got to put dinner. I got to get myself. I lifted my face so I don't look so damn tired. Okay.
And you have to remember to drink your water.
Yeah, I got my water, because it's nothing worse than, now that I'm an old lady, I don't want to start choking on my spit in the middle of the talk. I know I always make Robin laugh, and I keep hitting my mic. So sorry if I keep popping my peas.
But I love that you have a magic wand, and I love that being busy definitely helps. Helps everyone. I think being busy is good for your soul. You don't want to be too busy, and you want to know how to say no and honor your time. But exactly. Being busy is good for your soul.
Yeah, because sometimes what happens is when you busy yourself out your life, where everything is scheduled. You don't have time to create magic because you have no what I call wiggle space, time to do fun things. Because magic really happens. I'm going to really say this. Sometimes during the anxiety and stress, and you're sitting there going, "What the f am I supposed to do right now?" And all of a sudden, you got this surge of energy, and then you go, "Oh, I'm meant to call this person, do this and this and this." So realize what anxiety can do for you. There's a bad side to anxiety and a good side.
Yes, and I've been lucky in my life that I've been trying to turn my anxiety, and the bad anxiety too, which we all have stuff going. Everyone has stuff in their lives. Turning the bad anxiety into something good, finding the magic in that difficult moment, and turning it into something positive, turning it into a blessing, finding that silver lining, which is really hard to do, especially when bad stuff happens. And and sometimes you just can't find that, but being able to sit with your feelings and acknowledging them and honoring your anger, your sadness, your stress, your anxiety, and being with that, and then honoring that horrible feeling that you're having and being okay with having that horrible feeling. It's okay.
Yep.
And then being creative, figuring a way either out of the situation or creating a solution or finding a tool to help you de-stress or to
See, and that's the magic in all of us. We all have choices. When you feel like you're stuck, that is when you have to execute your choices. And people say, "Well, I don't have a choice." And that's not true. Even if it's something really small, because when people think of choices, they're thinking about this huge picture. Start with a tiny step.
I love that. I love that. Now, in the class you've created, Helen had mentioned earlier in the video, she's created a lot of amazing classes at the Healing Place Energy School. There must be lots of lessons in there for people who are dealing with uncertainty in their lives or anxiety. Can you direct them over to the website to a class that may help them?
Well, I think right now, stress and anxiety is probably at the highest that's ever been. And during the pandemic, what I did was created a 5-part how to manage stress and anxiety with mindfulness. So this is a 5-part course series. And what I talk about is the lesson number 1. What does anxiety do to your energy flow? This is something that's really important because you don't want to be at the mercy of your stress. Because once stress grabs you and pulls you down, you feel like it's an endless cycle you can't break out. So that's 1. 2 is, what is mindfulness? People are so used to just doing, they have no idea what mindful is. Here's a good example. If you don't mind, I'll share a quick story.
Yeah, definitely.
In my last job, I used to go out to lunch with 2 people, and we used to go to this Chinese restaurant down the street. I call it a honky-tonk Chinese restaurant. I'm sorry for those people who do the American Chinese food, but I got to keep the people in the office happy. So there I am. We ordered these luncheon special, which I'm not particularly fond of, but I get them anyway because I really like being with the people. And so there's my colleague, there's 2 of us, and we all get our plates. And this guy that was with us took one look down the plate. He says, "Why did I not get an egg roll? How come you and Ingrid got one?" And I said, "Well, Kevin, you shoved your egg roll down your throat so fast, you didn't even know you ate it." And he was totally embarrassed. He had no idea he'd eaten it because he wasn't mindful. He just did the shovel thing. So this is what most people do in life, especially if they live a very structured life. If they know exactly what they're going to do, they never have to think about it. So there's no wiggle space. There's no room for growth. And then what happens if they do have something that comes up in your schedule, that's when the meltdown comes in.
And I'm sure everyone has witnessed someone having a meltdown if they haven't had one themselves.
Oh, yeah. And if you didn't have a meltdown, you are lying. I'm sorry about that. You, everyone is not.
I had my meltdowns.
Yeah, you have your meltdown.
Helen, you watched me have a few.
Well, yeah. I almost saw Robin have one. Robin, there she is. She's so busy. 2 minutes before the show, there's Robin. Oh, she's not here yet. And I was getting ready to go on by myself and just have Robin jump in. So that's what makes it so funny. You know, I didn't get hung up on it. Yeah, I didn't get hung up if Robin was going to make it or not.
Anyway, and I'm here though. I'm here, but at what time is it? Oh, it's 7:16. I feel that creating magic in my life has been something that has only come about in the past 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, I know that I was doing it, but I wasn't mindful about it. I was doing like that work colleague who ate the egg roll without even knowing it. I was doing it, but I wasn't mindful about it. Because I can think back 20 years ago of different situations and how I made things turn out to benefit me. And I could say that was creating magic for myself or creating magic in my life. But now I'm more mindful about it. I really do think about how I want things to go, which direction I'm wishing for a certain situation to turn out. And I'm mindful about creating that.
Well, and that's how, and before I forget, I'm going to go through the courses because otherwise.
Finish with the course. Yeah,
so lesson number 1 is about how does stress and anxiety affect your energy flow. 2, what is mindfulness? 3, you're going to develop, I'm going to have you practice developing a self-care prescription, just yours and yours alone. And then lesson number 4, I do a 20-step hand reflexology. If, let's say, Andre, you're still with us, especially with stress and anxiety, a lot of the energy gets stuck in the diaphragm line, right about there. You know, this is where the butterflies live. And if you feel stressed and anxious.
Right in here.
Yeah, right in there. I get up, but I ate too much, and I have my stomach is
right in here. Woo!
Yeah. So you're looking at Robin instead.
Right there.
Right there. So that's where it's located on the hand. On both hands, you want middle finger. No, you're not doing the swear word. You're going here. As soon as you feel this dimple right there, that's your solar plexus. This is your third chakra about self-esteem and power. You want to rotate here like this, or you can walk across like this. And you're going to do this on both hands. How long? Maybe a minute. By practicing this every day, and every time you get nervous or stressed, that's going to start to calm you down. All right. So I do this a lot. And as Robin would say, breathe.
Yes.
Because more times than not, when we get stressed and anxious, we are holding our breath.
Yes, you're rushing, and you're trying to get stuff done or whatever you're stressed about. You're thinking too much that you're not breathing well.
Yes, and if you're hyperventilating, what's happening? Your energy is fluttering, and you're getting too much energy going through your body. And a lot of times, you need to slow your body down. And then, if you are, let's say, depressed. What I notice about people with depression, I notice that they breathe really slow, almost like a reptile. So sometimes by breathing a little bit quicker, I wish I could tell you how many breaths per minute. That's going to move the energy through on a cellular level better. So you have to find what's right for you in terms of not breathing too much. Like I'm trying not to talk too much because I'm breathing too fast right now. And Robin's talking more normal than I am.
Well, and I also find that when today I had to wear a mask all day, but I had to talk a lot while I had the mask on.
Just like me.
Yes. And I was having a hard time breathing. You know, it's one of those surgical masks that's like three layers thick. I was having like I had to pull it out to get a little more air in there and breathe. And I definitely feel that being more aware of your breath while you are speaking can help you be more mindful. It's
Yeah.
another technique of being mindful.
So, yes, and coming back to magic, I mean, if everyone consciously creates magic, this is what I have noticed about magic. It will work if your energy vibration is in alignment with what is coming out of your mouth.
Yes. Yes.
So if you are really deep down in the dumps and you're really depressed, even you're saying, I want this and this and this, your words are not matching your desires. So magic could, I noticed that only could be created if you will follow through with your desires instead of sitting and waiting for it to come.
Can
It
you
doesn't happen.
give me an example of something in your life, Helen, that you've been able to work on to
Well, I'm still working on this, is patience.
Mm.
I'm one of those people, because I move so quickly, I may not always have the patience and also let go of judgment.
Yes. Those are two. Yes.
Those are key, because there's got to be some magic and desire to want to change, because all the magic in the world or desire will not come. Well, maybe it will come, but it will may not be able to be manifested right in this minute.
Okay, I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah,
And what other lessons do you have in that class you mentioned? You mentioned, I think you said, did you go 4 lessons or was there a 5th lesson?
Oh, yes, and the 5th lesson, I'm sorry, I keep talking. And after the hand reflexology, there is a meditation to help ground you, to help you to relieve stress. So I'm one of those people, I create courses the way I like to be taught. That makes sense to me. I want to know the whys, and I want to get to the meat. And then I give you an action plan of what to do every day. I think it through, make your choices, because the journey is yours and yours alone.
So your classes are online classes, and are they all pre-recorded or are they live?
Yeah, they're all videos. I'm hoping that eventually we will do some live streaming classes, like Robin, you and I, we talk about this.
Yeah, yes.
And it's just a matter of getting our acts together, because right now my biggest focus is to get the school up and running.
Yes, and the other question I have about the class is, so if someone signs up for the class, they do the 5 courses, or throughout the courses, if they need to interact with you, is there a way to
Yes, and
you? Okay.
You could email me and with your questions, and if you choose to do if you want to sit down like this, there is a charge if you want me to sit down with you for a half hour. So This is one of those things I would say, listen, get your questions together, and we're going to make this a really productive meeting.
Nice. Okay.
Because the journey and magic, that's what the journey is. It's nothing but magic and the choices that you make to follow your own lead. So you got to decide, what does your journey looks like? And you could actually create it, to tell you truthfully, instead of going blindly. I guess you could do like Dorothy of the Wizard of Oz. She just followed the yellow brick road, or wherever it took her, that was good enough. But
most people can't operate that way as much as they would love to.
Yeah, as much as they like to, we need structure, because our society has just speed up so much now.
It has. And I think that's another reason why people need to slow down, investigate taking classes to help build their resilience.
Exactly.
Stress and anxiety.
And see, I really truly believe the universe wants everyone to succeed. And you can only succeed do you have a strong foundation, energy foundation. And if you have a weak one, you're going to be picking yourself up more than you are walking down the path. And in order to do this, you have to, this is my opinion, you have to be exposed to a variety of experiences.
I agree. And thoughts. People have different thoughts and feelings than you may about a certain subject.
Yes, and it's just that when people said they feel like there is no choice, and I said that's not true.
There's always at least 10 other choices.
We always have choices. It's just a matter of you have the courage to follow through. So
be open to finding them. Create the magic. Be open to finding things that will help you feel better.
And when you fail, get up
and try again.
And keep trying, and try until it hurts. And then all of a sudden, what you're going to notice is a shift. And everything will come your way, because I always tell clients, if you don't have it at this level, you're definitely not going to have it here. Definitely, as you shift and vibrate of vibration, if you don't have your strong foundation, you can't get to the top of the mountain. I don't care what tools you have. You've got to test and try everything.
It's true. It's true. We all need lots of different tools in our toolbox. I know that's a saying that a lot of people use. However, I truly believe that, if one thing works today, it may not work tomorrow. Say you have an amazing yoga practice to help reduce your stress and anxiety, but you may pull a muscle and you can't do it for a week or two. You need to have other things to turn to help with your taking care of yourself.
And you're right, Robin. What works today may not work tomorrow. And the reason why is you're ready for the next lesson.
Yes.
Because, you're jumping rope. Let's say you're jumping rope. You're doing the same exercise and you wonder why you're not getting any more results. You plateau.
Yeah, you need to find something else. And it's fun to find something else. Find the joy in looking for the next new class, the next new exercise, the next new friend that you'll meet, the next new whatever it is that's coming in your life, a new job, a new whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. And while you're creating this magic, don't go around asking everybody for their opinion if you should create this type of magic. Because too many people always say, I'm going to ask my husband, I'm going to ask my wife if I should do this. No.
Just do it.
Just do it. Because what happens, I'm not saying to be disrespectful, but if you're asking for everyone's permission, if you should proceed, the magic will never come.
Right. True.
And if you're okay with a life whereas status quo, and there are people who like that type of lifestyle, that's fine. No judgment. But don't keep asking if you're not going to follow through, because you won't like the answer. I could almost guarantee it.
Exactly. I'm just looking. I see Jean joined us. Hi, Jean.
Yeah. So the magic, everyone has magic within them.
And they can create things. They can make it go in their favor.
Yes. So one of the things that I would love to talk about, let's say next week, Robin, are you going to, we haven't talked about.
Next week, I should be here. Let me just double check. I think I don't have anything going on.
There's nothing like live TV. Robin's really checking her calendar.
I am.
And I think
you know what? Yeah, no, I should be here next week. I might be, 5:30, 6:30, yeah. I might have a little issue. Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I should be home like right on time.
Well, there's another thing what we could do if we are both here or one of us is here. I would like to talk about boundaries. That's one about developing magic. You have to understand what is your boundary, what you are willing to do, when to say no, when not. I call it bleeding out, where you're giving so much of yourself, you got nothing left. Because magic requires selfishness in a healthy way.
I agree. Absolutely.
So that's what we're going to do next week.
Yes, and as long as I don't hit traffic on my way home, I'll be fine.
Well, you could drop in any time during the
Yeah,
conversation.
I could drive and talk.
No, I prefer you not get in an accident, Robin. I need you too much. Oh, I'm being selfish now. I'm not even thinking about your family. I'm thinking about me.
No, I should be able to make it, but it could be close depending on.
You mean closer than today? 2 minutes of 7?
I know. It's just that if I leave that appointment, it should only take me 20 minutes to get home from that. But that's if everything runs perfectly and I don't hit every red light. It's just a tight squeeze. I have to take an appointment after work that day, and it's the only time I can get into that spot. I hate working 40 hours a week.
Sorry, honey. We're going to create the magic where you don't have to do that. So anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I hope this talk has been helpful to you. And if you know of anybody who will benefit from this discussion, please share. Let's build a community. And I'm supposed to end with this propaganda. Visit us in the Healing Place Energy School. Like us, follow us, share us, whatever you want to call it. Because magic. Yes, and we really love creating magic with you. So we're going to hear about your boundaries next week. All right?
Yes.
All right. Be well and take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye.